Hello everyone, welcome to Fijian Investment Trader, known as Fijian Traders. This is your host, Mr. Singh. NEO, ticker symbol NIO, NEO. What a day in terms of recovery, all the way low of $3.61, even the high of $4.05. We closed at $4 level. Definitely hurts me saying that, seeing NEO at $4. Definitely this stock is not supposed to be here. Well, the key things holding with this company, as I mentioned in time and time, is the profitability. The For NEO is not there yet, and also in terms of how the economy is playing in the worldwide, including China, and is the recessions are looming, how the markets are reacting. It's all factored in. And the EV sector is where the price cuts and competition is so intense, and we're seeing these pullbacks. And actually, I won't say a pullback; it is a downtrend for NEO, resulting this. But before I talk on more on the technical side, we gotta cover the fundamental side and some good news and the bad news with NEO. I'm gonna share with you guys. I'm gonna talk about my portfolio, what I have done it, what I have sold, and what I'm doing next now. So a lot to cover in this video. So don't go anywhere. And also apologies for not doing the videos on the weekend due to the family emergency, but everything is settled, everything is looking great. So now I'm back again doing it. That's why I'm doing the video on Monday and catch up what we're looking in the weeks and the months ahead for NEO. So NEO, why did NEO stock just drop 12-month low? The shares of NEO has been declining over the months with the recent poor performance due to the price cut trend sweeping across the China's EV market. We recently know that Tesla slashed the prices of some of the popular models, which I took the advantage of it, buying a Tesla Y model. That love to get the hands of NEO. Absolutely love the design, love the concept behind it, but unfortunately does not get a can buy it in California. And I'm very be the first one if it comes over here to buy the NEO vehicle. So we know the price cuts, how Leo Auto also followed examples of cutting their own price. So far, the price cuts haven't gone well of either company. Even we know that price cuts resulted affected, but we see how companies have been affecting it due to the high inflation. Means all the manufacturing cost is so high, and you're cutting the price, though the profitability margin becomes very slim to operate. So that is a down effect for all the EV companies. You're seeing it as well as NEO. So let's dig into dive. What does NEO stock and its peers? What we hoping? It may be seem odd that NEO fell on the day. It seems the peers of a good news, but today's earlier performance is a clear commentary of state of China's EV market. So many challenges, of course. And NEO actually closed in green, while both Li Auto and Tesla closed down 5% and 3% respectively. This does not mean the demand for the new energy vehicles in China is lacking. It just demonstrates the competition is fierce, and it's gonna getting fiercer. So talked about it, competition is there, and what is the best time for NEO or for NEO and Mr. Lee William to do is reducing the manufacturing costs, operating costs, cost. We need to make sure the cost is controlled. Then you can have generated revenue, which NEO is not having generated revenue, and it was time to tell. The price cuts also came to the new data of the first time as China sold more electric and hybrid cars, and the internal combustion and the retail sales of new car energy include EVs plug-in went up to 50% in passenger vehicle in the first 2 weeks of in April, according to the China Passenger Association over the weekend. The fact that Tesla stock has been falling since the company announced its price cut should tell the investors everything they need to know. Despite the efforts of the pure sales, the market isn't responding well. The two companies announced a lower EV prices in red, while NEO has moved in the company-specific news. Indeed, the NEOs hasn't had a major catalyst since last week when it announced of changing an agreement with General Motors as a joint venture. General Motors is not a small company. It's a one-time OGs. It's a dinosaur company, and having that announcement of the network agreement, it boosts their morale. It boosts them to be getting upper hand in terms of charging in their EV vehicles to the entire worldwide network. So that is something a great news. But you can clearly see the price went up, but a good recovery there. I would say that hitting the all low yeah, never good news, but NEO stock has already rebounded. Today's stock seems to have fallen the victim of industry-wide trends than nothing. So one of the analysis was talking about it, how the EV sector is affecting it, and competition is there. Competition is going to be there, folks. The price cuts, is one of the tactics the company use. But if your manufacturing and the operating costs are high, you can do it at certain point, but you weren't able to generate profit. Means is a labor reduction is also induced. So I won't be surprised NEO comes in, has to kind of reduce their workforce as well. Sometimes when the investors hear that, means this company is not doing well. Sometimes those cuts are important for the future and the growth for that, but the manufacturing costs and operating costs needs to be reduced, and that is the number one goal for Mr. Lee William. Also, like companies like this, Imoni, the CEO tells his fans, buy the luxury of a S7, a Neo SD5, and Xpeng if they can't wait for longer. This vehicle, Neta vehicle, is now sold. Nemo company, but now Neta have launched a SUV starting price of $18,000. $18,000 for a vehicle on that. So people, look for the cheaper price. Now, the demand is there, but it's not there yet. Because the supply is so much. Once the demand is there and the supply is less, means companies can raise their prices at highest point, and people will still buy it. Because now we have options on EV. You can buy it. Any company you have it, and that is the one of the biggest concern on that. But I'm glad to see that NEO is doing his charging agreement with GM, General Motors. Means that's a generated revenue they're getting, which is a great news for them in terms for they being profitable down to the trend. Also, shifting the gear, NEO, the spy of the new NV LO6 looks really good. Was kind of found near the battery swap station. You can clearly see that. Just wanted to share the quick picture. Shifting the gear, my portfolio, yes, I did sold on that. Now regrouped, and before I sold it, I wanted to lock all the profits what I have, because it was coming to a close where I bought the NEO's shares on that. So I wanted to make sure that I start the portfolio back again with NEO, and did that. Same as Mara, I did that. Same as Nvidia as well, because it came to a market pullback. A market pullback for past 2 weeks was crazy. Right now, you can see SPY 500, so I was locking and selling my shares, because in terms of I want to be profitable, because I knew the market is pulling based on the news and the technical analysis. So restarted my portfolio back again with Nvidia and NEO, especially one of my beautiful stock that I have it right below at $4. So I'm sitting right over there. My plan is to add more shares. Why did I add the shares? So let's talk on the technical side. Why didn't I came sooner? Why didn't I did that? Definitely I could have bought it at $3.61, but I bought it around below $4. The reason behind that, you got to look on the key terms on the technical side. We came to the low of $3.61. You can clearly see that we kind of raised back about $4.09. And that's the 5-day chart. Right, we're gonna shift the gear. The gear is of $3.41. I did mention that I'm gonna start loading my shares. The reason I loaded up, because we are trading the 60-day moving average. Finally, kind of broke and sitting at $3.90, which is and then my 60-day sitting at $4.14. So now what we're gonna do? I'm gonna move my resistance right, kind of clear it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. We're going to be trading into a new platform channel between 385 and 414 before we see a breakout. So I started loading the shares. The loading zone was clearly sitting at my $3.49. As I mentioned that I wanted my last video that I wanted to add my shares. It did came close to that. I didn't. But I loaded where I wanted to see kind of break out the 60-day moving average. And it did. And that's why I kind of loaded my 40,000 shares on there, but I'm not done yet. My plan is to add another 40,000, so that's why I'm waiting to see that. If it comes start dropping in it, then I might cut my losses and sell it out. But I wanted to start loading my shares, because because this is not going to be a short lived, right? So it is not going to be like, we're done. Nobody's going to buy EVs. No, shares not going to go up. Absolutely, it's not going to be happening, because time and time the companies comes with these news like this, and the shift of sector. It's really a long time now to see EV sector has been not doing well for past 6 months, and especially NEO is over than that. When 2019, 2020, we were seeing all these highs of $50. Definitely we have this pullback. But now the reason I ended it, because you can clearly see that the $3.61 it was been acting as a time and time. We touched it got rejected, touched it, acted as a support. So 361, it is a big support level over here, and it becomes a loading zone, created a double bottom. And the 60-day on a 1 month chart is sitting at $3.98. So right now it's $4, right now sitting at it. So what we gotta do is gonna break out. So we gotta keep an eye at $4.42. If we break $4.42, then we can have reversals of coming highs of $6 and so forth, $5 and so forth. But I like that in terms of chart right now because it break and hold to that, and that's why I loaded my shares today. And let's see if I'm right or wrong. If it comes in that, definitely cut some losses and get out from there. But that is the one that I'm keeping an eye. But you can clearly see that on the 60-day, and we're sitting at $4.14. You can see that $4.14 was on the 1 month and $3.42 on the 3 months. And then shifting on the 6-month chart, you can see that 60 days sitting at $4.14. So definitely there's a lot of room over here to be kind of cover that gap and see if it get rejected. Because if it breaks, then the next one is $4.87. Because my pink line, if you're not familiar with my chart, it's a 60-day moving average. So those are my kind of plan to close my shares. I'm all a long-term investor, folks, but I want to be patient, right? I want to be patient in terms of loading shares, and definitely don't want to miss something. So my plan is to see if it breaks. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna take a loss a little bit and get out again. But if it doesn't, then I'm gonna be waiting and see when it's gonna be loading shares. But $4.87, if it breaks out, then it's gonna be my next loading area on the uptrend on that. So that's why I like on the technical side on that. And the fundamentals companies coming like this is phenomenal. I love what the company is doing it, Mr. Lee William. But just be patient. We see this is time and time have it. Definitely not the thing that we are looking at, right? Right back in December, we were just sitting at over $10. And right now, in 4 months, we saw this stock came all the way to $3.61 with how the EV sectors has been playing it. We've been holding the trading in between this channel, $6 to $7, and then we came back all the way to $3.61. So folks, here's my technical analysis, here's my fundamentals. Don't beat yourself up. I'm not promoting, I'm not doing it. This is how I'm doing it. I want to share with you guys. And comment down below, what do you think about NIO? I love NIO. NIO is one of the top company as well. It just they need to be profitable. In order to do that, reduce your operating and manufacturing costs. So here you go, folks. Thank you for watching it, and see you guys next again. Thanks.